Hey guys, welcome back to Ready in 5. In today's episode, I wanted to share with you 5 different skincare devices and give you my feedback on them, tell you a little bit about why I chose them and what I think that they're good for, and whether or not I feel like they're really worth the splurge. Just to give you a little bit of background on my skin personally, I have had acne probably since I was about the age of 12, and I'm in my early 30s now. So I still deal with, hormonal breakouts. I sometimes get cystic breakouts, and they're really painful, and they're just really hard to get rid of. But in addition to getting breakouts, I also get hyperpigmentation and scar really easily. So everything that I'm talking about today is with that in mind, to kind of combat acne, scarring, and pigmentation. Some of them are good for anti-aging as well, but my main focus has usually been towards combating acne and the stuff that kind of comes along with it. So the first device I have here is a PMD. This is something that's probably familiar to a lot of you. I feel like it's been around for a while, and this is probably the one device that I've had the longest out of all the ones I'll talk about today. Now I'm going to do my best to kind of describe how this works for those of you who aren't familiar, but basically when you turn it on, it connects to a little power adapter. It starts to rotate this little sandpaper-like disc, and also creates a suction. Now, the tip I have on here now is actually wider, so it's meant for the body. I couldn't find my facial one, so I just put this one on to show you guys, but the one for facials is slightly smaller, as well as the disc is smaller. But anyway, it creates a suction, so you wanna hold your skin taut and then gently run the device over your skin this way. You don't want to hold it in one place because the disc will keep turning, and then you can actually create damage to your skin by removing too much of that top layer. And I would describe it as when that happens, it kind of creates like a rug burn effect, and then you end up with raw skin, and you're gonna have a scab and all of that stuff. So that's something to be aware of. This is not like a foolproof device by any means. But when used correctly and gently, and you don't go crazy with it and don't do a ton of passes over the same area, this is very effective at lightening hyperpigmentation just slightly. I mean, you can see a visual result right away. It also kind of diminishes the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. It's not gonna make them go away, but it will make them look like they've kind of, been flattened out a little bit, as well as the appearance of like pores and stuff like that. So I will say this does seem to give me immediate results, but it's not, accident proof by any means. So definitely approach it carefully. Retail, this is about $135 the last time I checked their website, and I believe you might be able to find it on other sites like Amazon for slightly less. But do keep in mind you will be repurchasing those little discs, because you don't want to use the same one maybe more than once or twice, just because it'll start to wear down, and dead skin will collect on it, and you don't want to keep running that over your skin. You're probably going to do more damage than good. Okay, so moving on to a device that might not be as familiar to some of you and looks super intimidating. This is a portable high frequency device, and this is how it looks. This is something I purchased off of Amazon about 4 or 5 years ago per the recommendation of a facialist I was seeing. It comes with this main kind of unit, as well as these little wands here which target different things. Now, I don't use all of these attachments. I have never actually used this one, but the reason why this one exists is with the microcurrent and everything, this is actually meant, I think, to run through your hair and kind of stimulate your hair follicles, and therefore, I guess, improve hair growth. I haven't tried that, so I don't know if that works or not, but I mostly use this little one that has like a little tip on it so that I can actually really pinpoint my breakouts. Now, contrary to what this might seem, this is non-invasive and there's no downtime involved. I think a lot of people consider this as a natural way to get your skin to regenerate itself, because the way that the electric current works, once it hits the air or the skin, I believe it warms it, as well as creates oxygen molecules, which will help your skin naturally regenerate. You can kind of control the level of the frequency on the bottom of the device. It's like right here, there's a little knob here that turns it on, and then it's like you can go all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom. I keep it at a fairly low setting. You just want to create the current, and then when you zap it, you should feel almost like a little slight tingling slash stinging sensation right away, and that's just the bacteria being killed off. You can run it over other areas of your face and not feel a thing. You just might hear the buzzing, but that means that there's just no bacteria for it to kill off. Now, I particularly like to use this when I feel cystic breakouts coming out. I feel like because of the electric current, it's able to penetrate a lot deeper into those underlayers of skin and really kind of kill the bacteria at its source. And I do notice that the lifespan of the breakout is a lot less. This is one of those that I think is pretty inexpensive for what it is. I purchased it on Amazon for less than $30. You can definitely find it online for less than $50. I would say I think this was worth the purchase for me because for the amount of times that I've used it over how much I paid for it, it's definitely been worth it, and I do think that it has helped. However, I don't think that it's for everybody. Not everybody needs something like this. You know, if you're looking for something to help with anti-aging, fine lines and wrinkles and stuff like that, I feel like there are plenty of other devices out there that you could try that aren't going to take up space in your closet, and you know, you don't need this in your arsenal. But I will say, if you deal with a lot of cystic acne, it could be worth a try. Maybe even go and get a treatment at a salon, see how you fare with that, and then if you think that it's something that you want to continue doing at home, go and pick up this bad boy. Okay, so next up we have a light stim. This is just an LED light therapy device. I travel with this fairly often because I feel like this is something that's not gonna break on me, and all I need is to have an adapter. And the way that this works is it emits a UV-free light that your skin absorbs. If you think about how plants absorb the sun and that helps them, you know, create food and whatnot, this is kind of that idea where your skin absorbs that light and it helps energize the cells as well as encourages and stimulates your body to regenerate. And this one in particular emits a blue light, which is meant to target acne, so it will penetrate deep into those layers and kill off any bacteria, kind of similarly to the high frequency device, different way of doing it, but the same concept where it's wanting to kill the bacteria underneath those layers. I do notice that this also helps a lot with inflammation. So if I feel like I have a lot of bumps popping up, this helps kind of reduce the appearance of them. It won't necessarily make them completely go away depending on the intensity of the breakout, but over time I do feel like it helps, again, decrease the longevity of having that breakout. This beeps every minute or so to move on to a different area of the face, and then you can kind of go around the entire face. But a lot of times I actually hold this over one area. Again, this is non-invasive. It's not gonna, you know, cause any burns or, you know, create a downtime or anything like that. So you can just hold this on one area and just focus that treatment on that cluster or whatever it is that's causing the breakout. I don't know that it's necessarily more beneficial to do that or not. It just kind of feels good on my face, and that's what I've been doing. Now, the cost of this unit is similar to the PMD. I believe it's around $140. I'm not sure. I haven't looked recently, but I definitely feel like this is worth the price. It is, again, another treatment that is typically an add-on for a facial in a salon, and you know, you sit under that, you know, big light unit for maybe 10-15 minutes and then it's over. Whereas this, you can literally do your entire face all day, every day, as much as you want, as little as you want, and you will easily make your money back really quickly. Out of the devices I've talked about so far, this is probably the one that I use the most. So I would definitely say if you want to pick one out of the 5 that I talk about today, definitely consider this one if you have acne problems. Okay, so my final 2 tools that I want to share with you don't have to be plugged in. And my first one here is just my gua sha massaging tool. This is in rose quartz. It's really pretty. This is an ancient Chinese healing technique and oftentimes used for the body, but I feel like recently in the last year or so has become really popular for facial massage. I think in general, one should just learn how to do a proper facial massage because it just feels really good on the skin. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know a ton of the backstory on this or the history. All I know is that in the time that I've been trying it, which hasn't been as long as all the other ones that I've been talking about, I notice a huge difference in the tone of my skin, the tightness, the lift, especially in the jaw area, because I carry a lot of tension in my jaw. I tend to grind. This muscle right here tends to be really, really tight. It's something that, you know, a lot of people can also get Botox for, you know, TMJ and whatnot. I have a mouth guard that I also wear. But when I use this, it definitely breaks down that hard feeling and that muscle so that it's a lot softer. It also drains all that lymphatic fluid, so you're like detoxing all of that. You can easily look up different gua sha massage methods and, you know, focus on different areas, but overall you just want to kind of pull towards the back of your face, you know, pull down, and then you want to apply enough pressure that you cause a flush, but you don't want to create, in effect, like a hickey. I know, like, on your body a lot of people do that because it's all of that bad blood and stuff coming to the surface, but on the face you want to be pretty gentle. You don't want to end up with like really splotchy skin, but you will see your skin start to flush a little bit, but it eventually goes away. I like to apply a nice oil or even a thicker moisturizer and then just let this glide across the skin. You definitely don't want to do this onto dry skin because you don't want to tug at it, but it just feels really relaxing on the skin, and you can hit like different pressure points on your face, and it's overall just something really relaxing that you can do, you know, sitting in front of the TV or, you know, just before you go to bed. I definitely think it's worth trying as a treatment because, you know, why not treat yourself and do that extra, you know, spend that extra time with yourself in the morning or in the night. So my last item that I want to share with you is a derma roller, and I feel like a lot of people asked me about this in the past because a lot of people have recommended this for hyperpigmentation and scarring, and I do think that this works. However, I've hesitated to talk about this because I feel like this is one of those things that you could have to be really careful with. You don't want to damage your skin because in effect, these little microfine needles puncture your skin and create a wound, and therefore your skin is forced to regenerate itself. It's forced to heal itself. I do think that this helps with the improvement of the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, pores, scars, and hyperpigmentation. I feel like that helps kind of move the process along of getting rid of those things. And this is inexpensive. However, I do feel like it's a lot easier to do damage to your skin using this at home if you're not familiar with how to use it and you're not doing it correctly. You want to make sure that you're looking up videos or tutorials or getting this from a reliable source where the material is, sanitary, and that you're, cleaning this with alcohol after every use. Also, you don't want to use this to the point where the needles are actually dull and they're not actually having an effect on your skin. Also, because I feel like the scarring and pigmentation that I have needs a little bit more of an intense treatment, so to speak, I would prefer to save my money on buying these because you're going to have to repurchase this after 1 or 2 uses, I would say. For me personally, if I were recommending this to you, if you were interested in microneedling, I would suggest splurging or treat yourself on a treatment and getting it done professionally and getting, a PRP treatment, because PRP is your own stem cells and you can kind of get that to help heal the process. When I've done that, I've seen beautiful results, and I've only had to be, down for like 1 day because your skin is a little swollen. Sometimes maybe 48 hours, but you could do it over a weekend and then Monday go to work with beautiful looking skin. So I would prefer to personally spend money on going to a professional and getting the real thing and getting a slightly more intense treatment and see greater results than spending months doing this and potentially damaging my own skin. So that's all I have for you today. Those are the 5 different skincare tools that I've used and my feedback on them. Hopefully you found this video helpful and it helped you make a decision on what you're willing to try and spend money on, or maybe not. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments section down below as always, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.